Boeing has been winning hands down at this year's air show. It's currently doing a very loud, rumbling sort of presentation. You can feel the vibrations. It blew my mind. It really is quite the future. So here at the Dubai Airshow, we have some big players and Boeing is no exception. And I thought for all you viewers at home, I would give you a little tour of what an airshow booth looks like for such a large aircraft manufacturer. So starting off here, we've got this beautiful display of their current modern lineup of jets that are available for people to purchase. And we've seen a lot of people purchasing these jets, such as the 737-8, the new 737 MAX aircraft. And then of course we have the world famous Dreamliner series, and these are all at a 1 to 40 scale. And then of course we get the brand new 777X range, which is actually 3 different aircraft, but they've only got 2 of them on display here. They've got the 777X-9 here at the end, which is the equivalent of the 747 in terms of capacity, but a much further range these days. And then you've got the 787-8, which comes as a freighter variant and also a passenger version. And the -9 is coming first, but then followed by the freighter and then the -8. But the -8 version actually has the longest range of up to 16,000, actually a little bit more than 16,000 kilometers. So that could easily fly pretty much around the world. And I sat down with one of the Boeing specialists to have that exact discussion. That's a huge range. Where exactly do you imagine the 777X flying in the world?
Everywhere that 777 flies today. The 777-9 has more range than the 300ER, which is by far the most popular model of the 777, flying all those high-density intercontinental routes today. And then with the 8, you're going to get even more range to do those really long trans-Pacific, Australia to Europe type of routes.
And do you see that you could potentially go like East Coast America or London, for example, to Australia? Or I could go quite all the way across the world non-stop?
Yeah, it's that range. I mean, it depends on winds, it depends on what you're carrying exactly, but this is the airplane that's going to try and do those.
And do you think, this is just, obviously you probably answer this question all the time, but do you think there will be a further stretch of the 777 airframe?
No plans for it right now. The 9 is a really good size. It's already the longest airliner in the world. It's got basically the capacity of what a 747 used to have. So that's going to be the airplane and the backbone of fleets in the future.
Fantastic. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
But moving on from this, we also have a section about their space program, which is all part of the space theme. And this is currently doing a very loud, rumbling sort of presentation. You can feel the vibrations, and it's something that it's simulating a rocket launch. So I don't know if that's coming across, but I can just feel the vibrations. That's part of the course here, that we do not control the noise at the air show, but I love it. And then coming over this way here, we have a whole other video on this, but this is a cabin concepts for the 787 and also the 737. So it's an incredible business class little private booths here, and you guys just have to check out the whole video on that one because I thought it blew my mind. It really is quite the future. And then moving over this way here, we have the 787 Dreamliner sort of interactive cabin display where they show you just how wide it is and just how much space there is, and they can change what this looks like to show you different sort of configurations of this amazing aircraft. And you can see here that they've actually been using some of those cabin concepts that I showed before. They've put it onto this wall as well, and they can show potential customers, because that's what this show is all about. It's actually about getting the customers. And so far, Boeing has been winning hands down at this year's air show. But you see, Boeing is more than just commercial aircraft, of course, and they've got many other fantastic aerospace projects that can be used for different reasons. And it's when you come to this side of the booth, all of these aircraft, such as the F-15, the Chinook, and the KC-46, all of the defense weaponry that any country would require, especially in the modern world. And we've seen many of these also on display out at the airfield, and that we've shown in our live streams, and that we've also shown here on the channel, which we'll be covering all of these in more in-depth videos later on. And behind us here is actually a simulator for the T-7 training aircraft. And so they want to show more than just commercial aircraft, military aircraft. They also want to be an all-encompassing solution for the Boeing aircraft. But then coming over this way, we can do a final little sweep to just show you just how big this booth is. And they have the T-7 training aircraft up here on the screen. And then I want to show you, you might have seen this in all of the vision where people are signing documents, and you hear lots of cheers around the hall when someone makes a big order at Boeing. And that takes place in what I think is really cool, this absolutely gigantic amphitheater that you can just see. In fact, if you stand in the middle, it's the perfect panopticon for my echoey voice. But these giant screens showing off all of the Boeing products here at the 2013 Boeing Airshow.